fascinating piece over at The Guardian by Ed Pilkington. It's titled Inside Steve Bannon's Disturbing Quest to Radically Rewrite the U.S. Constitution. This is something I have been telling you about for years. I have been doing this program for 19 years. It'll be 20 years in March of next year. And all that time, I have been warning you about this effort that is funded by a group of right-wing billionaires to call an Article 5 convention in Washington, D.C., and basically rewrite the Constitution of the United States. Take out of it, the general welfare of the population, make it basically into a libertarian document, turn America into a third world country. This is, with a grand poobah running it who can be king for life, like Donald Trump. And Bannon is completely in on this. He told his viewers last month, he said, quote, "You now have a political movement that understands we need to go after the administrative state." And by the administrative state, he's talking about the federal government and Congress being involved in things like the climate crisis, helping schools, setting education standards, fighting health inequalities, dealing with, crises like homelessness and all that sort of stuff. I mean, over and over and over again, this is what he's all about. Mark Meckler, a founder of the Tea Party who now leads one of the largest groups pushing this, it's called the Convention of States Action, spelled out his prime objectives on Steve Bannon's show. He said, we need to say constitutionally, no, the federal government cannot be involved in education. The federal government cannot be involved in health care or energy or the environment. He says the problem is anytime the administration swings back to Democrat or radical progressive or Marxist or whatever they are, we are going to lose the gains. So we need a structural fix. The structural fix, of course, is rewriting the Constitution. And they're moving along. Russ Feingold just recently told The Guardian, he said they want to rewrite the Constitution in a fundamental way that's not just conservative, it's minoritarian. It will prevent the will of the majority of people from being heard. How does that work? Well, they give each state one vote in this constitutional convention. And so California, with 39 million people, has one vote, and Wyoming, with about 1 million people, has one vote, and Montana has one vote, and Idaho has one. All these low population states, they all get one vote, and the high population states, they also get one vote. And so, this is how the Senate is organized right now, and that's why the Democrats in the Senate represent 43 million more Americans than do the Republicans. They have been super busy around this. They have been raising money like crazy. They've been getting they're putting candidates into state legislatures and into Congress who are all in favor of this. They've been holding dress rehearsals of this for a decade now in Washington, D.C. Much of the dark money that is funding this is coming from the same people who funded Donald Trump, the Mercer Family Foundation, Robert Mercer, Leonard groups run by Leonard Leo, according to this article in The Guardian. And they note that, it takes 36 states to do this. In 2010, Republicans controlled just 14 state legislatures. And then they got on the ball. The right-wing billionaires started funding the Tea Party big time. In fact, they created the Tea Party. And they started really, really pushing right-wing radio into these red states. And so they went from just controlling 14 state legislatures in 2010, a mere 12 years ago, to 31 today. Ann Pearson, the Center for Media and Democracy's executive director, says Republicans are near the high watermark in terms of their political control in the states, and that's why the pro-Trump right wing of the party is increasingly embracing the Constitutional Convention strategy. They are making no bones about it. Rick Santorum, we have the opportunity as a result to have a supermajority, even though we may not have an absolute majority. In other words, the majority of Americans don't want us to make it illegal for the federal government to help out people in times of crisis, to do away with FEMA, to do anything about the environment, to help out our schools, to provide, social safety net, to have welfare, to have Social Security and Medicare. All those things would go away under this rewritten Constitution. The American people don't want it. But hey, we may have the majority of the states. They got 31 states right now. That is a majority of the states. Mark Levin, the right-wing talk show host, is really pushing this hard. And he says they should even have the ability to overwrite federal statutes and Supreme Court rulings at the state level. Just 2 months ago in July, 2 bills were introduced into the U.S. House calling for an immediate constitutional convention, both by Republicans. Nancy Pelosi blocked them both, but hey, more coming. And if they control Congress, if Republicans take control of the House of Representatives and the Senate this time around, they'll do it. They will absolutely do it.